I never breathed a word to my son about my $45,000 monthly paycheck, even though he watched me live like the neighborhood was a thrift store. One evening he begged me to join a fancy dinner with his wife's parents, fresh off a plane from Europe. I chose to play the penniless widow and test how they'd handle nothing. The second I crossed that restaurant door, the night exploded. Before I continue, subscribe to my channel and let me know where in the world you are watching from. And if you are interested to know what happened next, make sure you listen till the end. What unfolded crushed my daughter-in-law and her clan in ways they never saw coming. They had it coming. Let me rewind. Let me show you who I truly am. My boy Nathan, 34, only ever knew me as the lady who vanished at dawn, dragged home at dusk, and stretched 3 ingredients into dinner. To him I was a clerk, maybe a typist, ordinary as tap water. I let the lie live. I never flashed the truth. $45,000 wired in every month. 22 years as VP at a global giant. Inking 9-figure deals that moved markets. Why brag? I was raised when pride lived inside the ribcage and silence outranked swagger. So I kept the secret, kept the same tiny flat, same cracked leather satchel, same clearance rack coats, cooked, cheap, saved fierce. Grew wealthy in the dark. Real power doesn't announce itself, it watches. And I was watching when Nathan rang that Wednesday. Voice jittery like he'd dented the car at 16. Mom, huge favor. Leela's folks flew in from Milan. First time meeting you. Dinner Saturday. Swanky spot, please. His plea carried a hidden note. Don't embarrass me. Do they know anything about me? I asked, calm as glass. Pause. Stammer. I said you work in an office. Live solo. Keep it modest. Modest. As if my life fit inside that limp word. I inhaled slow. I'll be there, sweetheart. I clicked off, scanned my living room faded couch. Bare walls, ancient TV, nothing to dazzle. Decision locked. If my son painted me poor, I'd hand them the portrait and watch the brushstrokes. I'd play broke, clueless, clinging by a thread. I wanted their raw faces when they thought no one was rich enough to bite back. My gut whispered they weighed souls on gold scales. My gut never lies. Saturday, I dug out the ugliest rag in my closet, a saggy beige frock, pilled and puckered like thrift store lettuce. Scuffed flats, no jewelry. Hair wrestled into a sad knot, tote bag older than Nathan. Mirror check. Invisible woman, perfectly forgettable. Taxi to the city's glitziest zip code. So elite the menu skipped prices entirely. Ride humming with dread and thrill. Thrill because fireworks waited. Dread because a sliver of me prayed I was wrong, prayed kindness would win. The veteran in me knew better. Taxi halted. Golden glow, white-gloved doorman, perfume cloud of wealth. I paid, stepped onto marble, crossed the velvet rope. There they stood. Nathan by a window table, navy suit crisp, shoes like mirrors, face tight. Beside him Leela, my daughter-in-law. Ivory silk hugging curves, diamonds winking. Hair a sleek waterfall, yet her eyes flicked to the door, mortified. At the table, her parents, enthroned. Mother, Claudia, emerald sheath dripping crystals, neck, wrists, ears blazing gems, black hair twisted into regal sculpture, beauty sharp enough to cut. Father, Victor, charcoal suit tailored to the atom. Watch the size of a hockey puck, stare carved from granite. They looked photoshopped from a private jet brochure. I shuffled forward, tiny steps, shoulders curled. Nathan spotted me. His jaw slackened. He swallowed hard. Mom, you came. Voice cracking with apology. Of course, darling. I offered a shy mouse smile. Lila air-kissed one cheek, Arctic robotic. Mother-in-law, glad you're here. Her eyes screamed liability. She presented me like damaged goods. Mom, Dad, meet Nathan's mother. Claudia lifted her gaze, raked me head to toe wrinkles, scuffs, tote. Judgment flashed neon. She extended a limp hand. Charmed. Victor mirrored, weak grip, fake grin. Delighted. I took the end seat, Siberia corner. No chair pulled, no comfort check. Waiter glided in, menus thick as novels, French swirling. I opened mine, squinted like a lost tourist. Claudia watched. Need help decoding. Tone honey over razor. Oh yes, please. These words are Greek to me. Voice small, trembling. She exhaled through her nose. Ordered for me. Something basic. Keep the bill gentle. No need to splurge. Words landed like slaps. Victor nodded. Nathan stared at his lap. Leela folded her napkin into origami. Silence swallowed the table. I observed. Claudia launched into travel tales, first class fatigue, culture shock. Then money crept in. Velvet hammer. Our suite runs $1,200 a night. Chauffeured Bentley, naturally. Popped into boutiques. Picked up a few trinkets, couple grand. Pocket change. She eyed me, waiting for awe. I bobbed my head. How lovely. She pressed. Victor and I built everything from scratch. Properties in 4 countries now. I curate the portfolio. Her smile said peasant. And you, dear, what do you actually do? I dropped my gaze. Office work. Bit of filing, copying, simple stuff. Claudia swapped glances with Victor. Clear. Respectable. All labor has dignity. Yes. Absolutely, I murmured. Plates or ride skyscrapers of foam hiding 2 bites. Claudia sliced her fillet. $90. But perfection demands a price. One shouldn't settle for less, correct? I nodded meekly. You're so right. Nathan tried small talk, new client, office gossip. Claudia cut him. Nathan, your mother lives alone. Yes, modest flat. Claudia turned, pity weaponized. Must be tough, darling. All by yourself, stretched thin. Does the paycheck even cover rent? Trap snapped shut. I whispered, I scrape by, cut corners. Don't need much. Claudia sighed theatrically. Oh, Ilara, you're a real trooper. I truly salute ladies who battle solo. Of course, every parent dreams of handing their kids the world. But hey, we all give what we've got, right? Subtle dagger. She just branded me a failure, a mom who shortchanged her boy. Leela stared at her plate like it held an escape hatch. Nathan's fists balled under the linen. I smiled, soft as ever. Exactly. We give what we can. Claudia rolled on. We made sure Leela had the best private academies. Passports stamped on every continent, for languages by 18. Now she's killing it. 6 figures easy. When she married Nathan, we stepped up big. Down payment on the house. Our gift, honeymoon, fully funded. That's just how we roll back our kids 100%. She locked eyes with me. And you, Eloror, you able to chip in anything when they tied the knot? Knife, floating? Not much, I murmured. A small token. What I could spare. Claudia's smile dripped syrup. How darling. Every penny counts, doesn't it? It's the thought. Rage woke inside Mick Wyatt. Glacial, unstoppable. I breathed, kept the mask, let her keep inflating. People like her always do. The more air, the louder the pop. She swirled her Bordeaux like a sommelier. This vintage, private cellar in Bordeaux. $250 a bottle. When you know quality, you don't bargain. She tilted the glass toward me. Wine drinker, only on birthdays. I'm clueless about the fancy stuff. Claudia's grin turned patron. No shame. Palates are built with passports and tuition. Victor and I have toured vineyards in Tuscany, Napa, Chile. We're connoisseurs. Leela's catching up. She's got our nose. Victor beamed. Runs in the family. Leela forced a smile. Thanks, Mom. Claudia swiveled back. You Elarabis. Anything spark joy. I shrugged. TV, cook, stroll the park. Simple pleasures. Another loaded glance between them. Claudia cooed. Simple can be sweet. though one always yearns for more culture, horizons, growth. Not everyone gets the ticket, I suppose. I nodded. True, not everyone. Dessert arrived, sculptures on plates. Claudia chose the $35 sliver, dusted with real gold leaf. Look closely, those flecks. Edible gold. Only the elite bother. I spooned my plain custard in silence. Claudia set her fork down, shifted to maternal steel. Family meeting time. Marcus is we adore him. Lila chose him. We honor that. But parents want the best for their girl. Nathan stiffened. Mom, not now. Claudia raised a palm. Let me finish. Ilara, I know solo parenting was brutal. Respect. But Nathan's in a new chapter: marriage, duties, future. He and Leela deserve rock-solid stability. Stability. I echoed. Feathers. Yes. Financial, emotionally, we've carried heavy loads and will keep carrying. But unnecessary baggage. She let it dangle. Baggage equals me. Leela wanted to vanish into the tablecloth. Nathan's jaw turned granite. Baggage, I repeated. Claudia exhaled like a saint. I'm not cruel, a lot. At your age, solo, modest income. Nathan worries. Natural, he's a good son. We just don't want that worry bleeding into his marriage. KP. Crystal, I said. Her smile bloomed. Perfect. Victor and I have a plan. Dramatic pause. We'll set you up with a modest monthly stipend. Say $600, maybe $800. Enough to ease your load. Spare Nathan the stress. Nothing lavish, miracles aren't on the menu. But a cushion. I stayed statue still. She leaned in. In return, just give the couple breathing room. Fewer drop-ins, less pressure. Let them build, without interference. Sound fair? The bribe, gift-wrapped as mercy. Pay me to ghost my own son. Nathan erupted. Mom, stop. Claudia cut him. Adult talk. Darling. Ilara gets it, right? I dabbed my lips, sipped water, let silence stretch like wire. Every eye pinned on me. Claudia expectant. Victor smug. Lila ashamed. Nathan pleading. Then I spoke. Voice no longer small. Steel wrapped in velvet. Generous offer, Claudia. Truly? Her victory grin flashed. See? Reasonable. I nodded. Few clarifications, just to be sure. She blinked. Shoot. I leaned an inch. How much is modest exactly? She faltered. Say, $600, tops $800. Got it. $800 a month to erase me from Nathan's life. Her brow creased. I wouldn't phrase. That's the phrase. I cut. How much for the house down payment again? She puffed. $45. And the honeymoon. $18, 3 weeks. 5-star Europe. Total investment, $63,000. She lifted her chin. When you love, you don't hold back, I finished. Tell me, Claudia, did the $63,000 by respect? Or just compliance? Air froze. Excuse me, she hissed. Whole evening you've itemized costs: wine, cake, shoes, jets. Never once asked if I'm lonely, if my knees ache, if I laugh anymore. You priced my dress and found me wanting. $800 a month, apparently. Victor jumped in. You're twisting. Am I? I locked on him. Intentions clear. Pity, parade, payoff. By my absence. He opened, closed, silent. I turned to Claudia. You said something fascinating earlier. You said you admire women who fight alone, who are brave. Claudia nodded, wary. Yes, I did. Then answer me this. Have you ever fought alone? Ever built a single brick without Victor's wallet or your daddy's name? Claudia's lips parted, stalled. I have my own successes. Name one, I said. Curious.com. She touched her chin. I run our portfolio. I oversee properties. I make critical calls. I nodded. Portfolio seeded by Victor. Properties titled jointly. Calls made with his capital, correct. Victor bristled. That's unfair. She works as hard as... No doubt she works. I cut. But there's daylight between managing a fortune and forging one. Between inheriting an empire and stacking every brick with bleeding fingers. Agreed. Claudia's mouth thinned. Where are you going with this? 40 years back. Age 23. Secretary in a postage stamp firm. Minimum wage. One rented room. Rice and beans on repeat. Zero safety net. Nathan's eyes locked on me first time hearing the raw cut. Then I got pregnant. Father vanished. Family slammed the door. Choice, sink or swim. I swam. Worked till labor started. Back on the floor 2 weeks after delivery. Neighbor watched the baby. 12-hour shifts. Then night classes. English at the library. Accounting, finance, management self-taught. All while feeding, clothing, medicating a child. Alone? Claudia stared at her plate. The shine was cracking. Secretary gives assistant, gives coordinator, gives manager, gives director. 20 years. 20 years of sacrifices you can't spell. And today, I paused. Water sip. Silence thick. $45. Every month. 22 years running. Roughly $12 million gross. Not counting investments, bonuses, equity. Fork clattered Nathan's. Leela's eyes saucers. Victor's brow nodded. Claudia's mouth a small, stunned O. $45,000. I repeated. Regional VP. 5 countries. Budgets in the billions. 10,000 livelihoods. Contracts that need legal teams to translate. Daily. Nathan whispered, Mom. Why hide it? I softened. So you'd chase effort, not inheritance. So money wouldn't rot your spine. I wanted a son, not a prince. Lila breathed. Then, the tiny flat. The old clothes. I smiled. Wealth whispers. I never needed applause. I turned to Claudia. That's why I wore rags tonight. Played penniless. Wanted your unfiltered hearts. And I saw them, crystal clear. Claudia flushed crimson shame, fury, shock. This is absurd. If true, Nathan would have known. I let him believe. I said. I invest. I compound. I live quiet. No diamond crutches. New Michelin flags. Victor cleared his throat. Still, you twisted our kindness. Kindness, I pinned him. Calling me baggage. Bribing me with $800 to vanish. Mocking my shoes, my plate, my life. Silence. I rose. Let me school you on something money can't buy. Class, empathy, spine. You own vaults. I own dignity. Claudia shot up. You lied, humiliated us. You humiliated yourselves. I just held the mirror. Leela's tears spilled. Mother-in-law, I didn't. You knew their venom. I cut gently. You watched, said nothing. From my tote, I slid a black platinum card limited, corporate, dropped it like a guillotine. Cover the check, tip big. Gift from the broke widow. Claudia stared. Black metal, silver engraving. Ilara Sterling, regional director. Her hand shook, lifting it. I don't need, nor did I need your pity, I said. Yet you served it all night. Call it etiquette lessons. Europe. Clearly skipped that class. Victor slapped the table. Enough. You're disrespecting. Respect, I echoed. Where was yours when you priced my soul at $800? When you tried to erase me from my own son? He deflated. I faced Lila. Soft now. Blood's thick. I get it. But Nathan's my blood too. I let him choose his path. Time you choose yours. I hooked the tote, turned to the door. Dinner's settled. Conversation's over. Next time you measure a woman, use a heart, not a bank app. I let him choose his life, his wife, his path. That's love. Freedom, not chains, not cash, not puppet strings. Nathan stepped close, eyes glassy. Mom, forgive me. I never asked. I assumed you scraped by. I thought you were fragile. His voice cracked like thin ice. I pulled him into a hug, felt his shoulders shake. No apology needed, sweetheart. I hid the truth for a reason. I wanted you independent, hungry for effort, not handouts. I wanted you to build your own life, brick by brick, the way I did. But you made me feel I had to protect you. You told me I had to worry, that you were the one carrying the weight. Nathan buried his face in my shoulder. I know. And it wasn't wrong. It taught me to care, to check in, to feel someone else's struggle. Those are lessons no inheritance can buy. He squeezed tighter. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Across the table, Claudia stood rigid, arms crossed. Watching the scene with a storm behind her, ice, rage, and something new, uncertainty. This doesn't change anything, she finally declared, voice brittle. You lied. You deceived us. You walked in here with a hidden agenda. You acted in bad faith from the moment you sat down. I released Nathan, turned to her, calm as winter steel. You're right. I acted. I wore a costume. Exactly what you do every single day. Victor leaned forward, knuckles white on the linen. What is that supposed to mean? It means you hide behind your money, your jewels, your first-class tickets, your vineyard tours. You wrap yourselves in things you can buy, but inside, hollow. You don't have deep conversations. You don't chase real passions. You have nothing to offer the world except a balance sheet and a smirk. Claudia let out a dry, bitter laugh that scraped the air, coming from the woman who lied all night. That's rich hypocrisy. Perhaps, I said, unshaken, but my lie was a mirror. It exposed your truth, and now you can't unsee it. I felt every barb, every sneer disguised as concern. I stored every insult you served with a smile, and I will never forget. The waiter approached, timid, tray trembling slightly. Excuse me. Anything else? Victor snapped. Just the check. The young man nodded and vanished. Claudia sank back into her chair, no longer regal, just deflated. Her shoulders curved inward, sequins dull under the chandelier. The posture of someone who had just lost something money can't replace. Control. Ilara, she said, voice softer, almost pleading. I don't want this to ruin the relationship between our families. Nathan and Lila love each other. They have a life together. We can't let this what? I cut in. Let this ruin your perfect image. Let this expose what you really think of people beneath your tax bracket. It's too late, Claudia. The damage is done. The mask is off. But we can fix it, she pressed, desperation creeping in. We can start over. Pretend this never. No, I said, firm as granite. We can't, because now I know exactly who you are. And you know exactly who I am. That truth doesn't dissolve with fake smiles or empty apologies. You treated me like trash and you enjoyed it because you thought you could. You thought I was powerless. You were wrong. Victor cleared his throat, trying to reclaim ground. You were the one who came here lying. You provoked this entire situation. Correct, I admitted. I provoked it because I needed to know. I needed to confirm what my gut already whispered, that you are not good people, that your money doesn't make you better, that you are the exact kind of people who measure a human soul by the brand of their shoes. Claudia wiped a single tear, not remorse. We are not bad people. Maybe not, I said, but you are definitely not good. And there is a canyon between those two things. The check arrived, leather folder centered like a verdict. No one touched it. Claudia stared at my black platinum card still lying on the table, then at me. I'm not using your card, she said, chin high. We pay our own way, always have. Perfect, I replied. Then keep the card as a souvenir. A little reminder that not everything is as it seems. That the woman you mocked all night has more power in her little finger than you'll ever hold in both hands. And I'm not just talking about money. She pushed the card back across the linen. I don't want it. I don't want your lecture. I slid it right back. Keep it anyway. Something tells me you'll need the lesson. One day you'll meet another simple soul who's playing small, and you'll make the same mistake. Because people like you never learn. Victor pulled out his wallet, fanned a rainbow of gold and platinum cards, selected one with a flourish. The waiter took it and disappeared. Silence fell heavy, suffocating. Lila cried quietly into her napkin. Nathan held my hand like a lifeline. Claudia stared at the wall, jaw tight. Victor scrolled his phone, avoiding every eye. The waiter returned. I'm sorry, sir. Declined. Victor's head snapped up. How? Another card. Declined again. He stood, face crimson. This is absurd. I'm calling the bank. He stormed toward the exit, phone already to his ear. Claudia whispered, voice small. This has never happened. Never. Terrible timing, I said, tone neutral. Nathan reached for the check. Mom, I can. No, I said gently. You will not pay a cent. From my cracked leather wallet, I drew a second card, not black, but transparent metal, heavy as gilt. The American Express Centurion, $250,000 annual spend just to qualify. $5,000 yearly fee just to hold it. Benefits most people can't pronounce. I placed it in front of Claudia. Her eyes widened. She knew. Everyone at the table knew. The waiter lifted it like a relic, returned in under 2 minutes. Thank you, Ms. Sterling. All settled. Receipt? Not necessary. He bowed and left. Claudia stared at the empty space where the card had been. I stood, slung my faded canvas tote over my shoulder. Dinner was exquisite. Thank you for the recommendation and for the masterclass in character. You saved me years of wasted energy, fake hugs, and hollow holidays. Claudia looked up, eyes red with fury. This doesn't end here. You can't humiliate us and walk away. We're family. You'll see us again. I smiled, slow and sure. Oh, I will. Birthdays, Christmases, baby showers, I'll be there. But now every glance will carry weight. You'll remember this night every time you force a smile. You'll know that I know, and you'll live with it. Victor returned, face ashen, phone limp in his hand. Security hold. Temporary. Fixed tomorrow. He saw the settled check. She paid. Yes, Claudia muttered. Victor looked at me, pride in tatters. Thank you, he whispered, barely audible. You're welcome, I said. That's what family does, right? Helps each other out. Especially with modest allowances. Say, $800. That's what this dinner cost. Victor closed his eyes. Claudia's fists clenched in her lap. I turned to Lila, voice soft. Simone, you didn't choose your parents, but you choose your actions. How you treat people. How you raise your future kids. Teach them to see hearts, not handbags. She nodded, tears streaming. I walked toward the exit. Took 3 steps. Stopped. Turned one final time. Oh, Claudia, one last thing. You bragged about speaking 4 languages. Claudia frowned, sequins catching the light like cold stars. What does that have to do with anything? Just curious, I said, voice light, lethal. In which of those 4 languages did you learn kindness? Because clearly it wasn't in any of them. Her mouth opened. Nothing came. Exactly. You could speak 100 tongues and still say nothing worth hearing. I turned, heels clicking on marble, and walked out. Marcus fell in beside me. The night air slapped my face clean, sharp, alive. I inhaled until my ribs sang. A decade of swallowed words dissolved in that single breath. Marcus hooked my arm. Mom, you okay? Better than ever. I studied him. He exhaled, long and shaky, reeling. I can't believe you never told me your title. The money, the empire you built. I feel blind. Does it bother you? He shook his head fast. I'm proud. stupidly proud, but also stupid. You're not stupid, I said. You saw exactly what I curated. I needed you hungry, not air. I needed you to fight for every inch so you'd know its worth. He nodded, eyes glassy. I get it now why you never complained, never asked, always calm. You didn't need anything. I smiled. I needed plenty. Just nothing money buys. I needed to watch you become a man who chooses right over easy. Even marrying Lila? He asked, voice small. Even that. She's not her parents. She can grow. But growth is her homework and yours. Decide together what values you'll plant in your home. He went quiet, city lights flickering across his face. A rideshare glided up. I'd summoned it the second we crossed the threshold. Marcus stopped me at the door. One question. Why pretend tonight? Why not just walk in as you? I closed the door, leaned against it. Because suspicion is a whisper, son. I needed proof. I needed to know if my gut was right about Claudia and Victor. Unfortunately, it was deafening. He dropped his gaze. I'm sorry. Don't apologize for them. But do decide what kind of husband, what kind of father you'll be. You just watched 2 blueprints. There's money as a leash. Mine money as a launch pad. Choose. He nodded, slow. I slid into the back seat, rolled the window down. Last thing, he said, will you ever forgive them? I considered. Forgiveness isn't amnesia. It's not permission. I'll forgive when I see change, real, consistent, humble change. Until then, polite, distant, armored, and me. His voice cracked again. For not asking, for assuming, for letting this dinner happen. I reached out, cupped his cheek. Nothing to forgive. You wanted your family to meet. That's love. What followed was their failure and a little mine, for dealing the cards. But you're learning. That's enough. He managed a watery smile. You won, Mom. I don't feel victorious, I said. I feel tired. Sad, because some voids no vault can fill. The driver cleared his throat. Ma'am, 1 second. I looked at Marcus. Go to Lila. Talk, listen. Set boundaries tonight, or this rerun plays forever. I will. I love you, Mom. More now than ever, because now I know the legend under the quiet. I love you too. Always have. Always will. Money or dust doesn't change a thing. He stepped back. I signaled. The car rolled forward. Through the rear window, I watched him trudge back inside, shoulders squared. Ready for the hard conversation. Pride swelled in my chest. City lights blurred past. I fished my plain phone from the tote. 3 unread messages. Assistant, Monday board call moved to 8. Colleague, congrats on the Tokyo close. Unknown, mother-in-law, please forgive me. I'm ashamed. I need to talk, Lila. I stared at her text. Thumb hovered. Then I locked the screen. Guilt texts are cheap. Change is expensive. She'd earned the reply. The driver glanced in the mirror. Excuse me, Mom. Everything all right? I met his eyes, 60-something, gray stubble, kind crow's feet. Why do you ask? You left that palace quiet as a battlefield. Most folks exit bragging about the foie gras. You look like you just dropped a decade of truth bombs. I laughed, first real one all night. 20 years driving. 22. Seen every flavor of human mess. Perceptive. Occupational hazard. Want to talk? Strangers, ears, no judgment, no gossip. Tempting? But I shook my head. I've said my piece tonight. He nodded. Fair, but let me say this. You're calm? Not crying, not raging. That means you spoke your honesty. And honesty, real, raw, unfiltered, always brings peace, even when it stings. His words landed warm. You believe in truth. I believe in honesty, he said. Truth shifts with the teller. Honesty doesn't. It's saying what you feel. No mask, no spin, even if it costs you. Your wife teach you that? His eyes softened in the mirror. She did. 40 years together. Fights, makeups, laughter, tears. Never once fell asleep wondering what she meant. She said it straight. I did too. She passed 5 years back. I'm sorry. Don't be. We lived full. Honesty was our glue. I smiled, leaned back, let the city lights strobe across my face. Tonight I'd played poor, played meek, then played my hand, and walked away lighter, because some victories aren't measured in millions. They're measured in truth spoken, masks shattered, and a son learning to stand tall. The taxi hummed on. I closed my eyes. Peace, finally. That's a gift, I murmured. You're right. Honesty is a gift. The taxi eased to a stop at a red light. The driver glanced back. Mind a personal question. Shoot. Are you rich? The bluntness caught me off guard, not the question, but the ease of it. Why do you ask? You stepped out of $1,000 ahead. Palace dressed like you shop clearance racks. Old tote, scuffed shoes, yet you carry yourself like a boardroom. Paid me with crisp hundreds from a wallet older than my grandkids. Just curious, observant, I said. 22 years behind the wheel comes with the territory. Then yes, I replied. If rich means money, I have more than enough. If rich means peace, health, a son I adore, work that lights me up, then I'm filthy in every currency that matters. He nodded, satisfied. Knew it. Real rich folks don't wave it around. Light flipped green. We rolled forward. So what went down in there? He asked. If it's not crossing a line. I played poor, I said, to see how they'd treat nothing. He barked a laugh. Brilliant, and, like trash. Humiliated me. Offered alms. Acted like I was air. His laugh died. Sorry. That had to sting. A little, I admitted. But it proved I was right about them. They weren't worth my time, my respect. Now they know who I am. They'll choke on that shame every holiday. He whistled low. Must have been a hell of a show. It was, I smiled. Front row seats to their own funeral. We pulled up to my building, mid-rise, middle class. Nothing flashy. Home. He eyed the brick facade. You live here. 15 years. He shook his head, stunned. Most with your kind of cash bowl to penthouses. Doorman, rooftop pools. You live normal. I am normal, I said. Just with extra commas. Money's a tool, not a personality. Wish more thought that way, he said. World be kinder. I pulled out my wallet. How much? 30. I handed him 100. Keep it. Ma'am, that's. You listened. You reminded me, good still exists. That's worth 70 easy. He took the bill like it might bite. Thank you. Truly. Thank you, I said. Guard that honesty. It's rarer than my card. I will. I stepped out, closed the door. He rolled the window down. One last thing, ma'am. Whatever went down tonight, don't regret it. People who speak truth, even when it burns, are the ones who shift the world. One conversation at a time. I smiled. I'll carry that. The taxi merged into the night. I looked up 5th floor window, dark, waiting. I climbed the stairs, never the elevator. Key and lock, same brass for 15 years. Door creaked open, lights on. Simple sofa, mismatched chairs, bare walls, mine, no performance. No audience. I kicked off the scuffed shoes, peeled away the wrinkled dress, slipped into soft, familiar pajamas, brewed tea. Sank into the couch. TV flickered, news, noise, off, silence. Sweet, thick silence. For the first time in decades, I felt weightless. No mask. No swallowed words. No shrinking. I hadn't just unmasked Claudia and Victor. I'd unshackled myself. Phone buzzed. Marcus, asterisk, home safe. I typed, asterisk, yes, son, resting. Love you, asterisk, instant reply. Asterisk, I love you. Thank you for everything, for being you. For teaching me. For never quitting. Asterisk. A tear slipped. not sadness. Relief. Love. Gratitude. I replied. Asterisk always. Asterisk. Tea cooled. I looked around my sanctuary. Smiled. Money didn't matter. Titles didn't matter. Only this. Peace. Truth. A son learning to stand. Sunday. I woke with the sun. 40 years of discipline. Black coffee. Steaming mug. Window seat. City yawned awake. Vendors. Joggers. Life unbothered by last night's war. Phone rang. Marcus. Morning, son. Mom, I need to talk. Voice rough, like he'd slept little. Shoot. Last night, after you left, we talked for hours. Simone, her parents, me. It was intense. I sipped coffee. Tell me everything. He exhaled. I went back in. Claudia and Victor were still stuck, cards frozen. Humiliating. Simone was wrecked, crying. I was livid, angrier than I've ever been. Silence from me. I laid it all out. He continued. Told them I was ashamed. That they treated my mother like garbage. That their behavior was disgusting. That I'd never tolerate it again. And them, Claudia defended, protecting Simone, stable family, no bad intent. Victor said I was overreacting, that it was just dinner, that you overplayed. I smirked. Classic deflection. Then Simone spoke. His voice cracked. She told them they were wrong, cruel. That she saw every sneer, every dig. That she was ashamed to be their daughter in that moment. I smiled into my mug. That's growth. Claudia lost it, he said. Screamed Simone was ungrateful. That they sacrificed everything, gave her the best life. No right to judge. Nathan backed her, said we were manipulated. That you staged it to make them look bad. I laughed, dry. Of course. My fault. That's when I dropped the hammer, Marcus said. Told them you did plan it. But they walked right in because that's who they are. You just held the mirror. They posed. Well said. Learned from the best. Silence. Then, Mom, I made a decision. Simone and I are setting hard boundaries. No money talk. No comparisons. No control. If they can't respect it, consequences. They agree. No. They stormed out. Called us ungrateful. Said we'd regret it. Nathan's rethinking the will. Claudia said Simone chose the wrong family. I shook my head. Emotional blackmail, last gasp of the cornered. Exactly. Didn't work. Leela held her ground. I did too. They stormed out, no goodbyes, no backward glances. And honestly, Mom, Nathan said, voice thick, I felt free, like a boulder rolled off my chest. That's because it did, I replied. You shed their leash, their script. Now you build your life, your rules. Thank you, he choked. For last night, it was messy, raw, but we needed it. I needed their masks ripped off. Leela needed to see real strength. You're welcome, son. I just did right. One more thing, he said. Lila wants to visit, apologize, face to face, not for show, for real growth. I paused, coffee steaming. Tell her yes, but not today. 3 days. Let words simmer. Rushed sorries are smoke, earned ones are fire. I'll relay it. How are you? He asked. After the storm. Sun blazed full now. Daybreak complete. I'm golden, I said. Peace like I haven't felt in years. No regrets. Everything said, love you. Love you more. Rest up. Click. I drained the mug, rose. Craved air, unscripted steps. No agenda. Old jeans, plain tee, faded sneakers. Keys in pocket, out. Streets pulsed, families laughing. Kids darting, couples tangled. Bread scent curling from carts. Park ahead. I claimed a bench, watched the world whirl. Ordinary faces, calloused hands, threadbare coats. Scraping by, yet beaming. Hugs free. Joy now. Then Claudia and Victor flashed. Vaults bursting. Jets idling. gems flashing. Happy, or just chasing echoes buying clout, respect, love. Commodities forever out of stock. An elder settled beside me, silver bun, knit shawl, eyes like ancient wells. Morning, she beamed, morning. Gorgeous day. Couldn't agree more. She crumbled bread for pigeons, flocks swarming. Every Sunday ritual. My reset before chaos. I needed one too, I said. Tough week, tough night. She nodded, sage. One evening can rewrite your stars. Spot on. Unsolicited wisdom. Always. She nodded at the birds. See them. Plump, scrawny, sleek, ragged. All peck the same crumbs. Share sky. No pecking order. No superiority strut. Beautiful lesson. Truth, not poetry. Humans alone invent thrones on stuff cars, houses, labels, pigeons. They are. We could borrow that. I grinned. Some folks I know need your syllabus. She chuckled. At 82, I observe, share, most tune out to sprinting, stacking, scrapping, forget, we all dust-bound. Loaded or lean. Profound. Practical. Richest I knew. Miserablest. Never sated. Always climbing, comparing. Died empty and loved. Her words echoed my bones. Unspoken knowing, voiced. Thank you, I said, hand on hers. Welcome, dear. Legacy isn't ledgers. It's kindness sown. That echoes eternal. She rose slow, bag tucked, waved. Lovely Sunday. You too. I watched her fade, tiny frame, wisdom colossal. Outshining every diamond, Claudia flaunted. Gratitude flooded. For her, for truth. Bench held longer. I sifted the wreckage. No regrets. Every word. Necessary. Every sting. Liberating. Honesty's blade cuts clean. 3 days ticked silent. Reflection brewed. Wednesday knocked, I knew. Door swung. Leela barefaced, ponytail loose. Jeans and tee, no sparkle. No armor, raw, human. Mother-in-law soft. May I enter? She stepped in, eyes tracing. Worn couch, blank walls, quiet life. Sat where I gestured. I took the opposite patient. Don't know where to begin, she whispered. Begin true. Deep breath. Apology first. But more. Why they are that way. Why I froze silent so long. I nodded. Parents clawed from dirt overseas. No lights, no water. Fields from dawn. Watched kin die, medicine too pricey. Hunger carved scars. Vowed, never again. Whatever it took. Explains volumes, I said. They be pennies hoarded. Immigrated hungry. Victor, bootstrapped empire. Money became God's survival shield. Never forget poverty's bite. So they tally everything. Security equals stacks. Trauma twists, I agreed. But no excuse for cruelty to you. Tears welled. I saw it all, jab stares. Pity parade. Silent. Habit, defy them equals disloyal. Ungrateful. Lifetime script. And now. Eyes open. Love isn't leash. Family isn't yes men. Can adore, disagree. Nathan showed me. You showed me. That night, she pressed, your reveal. Blindfold, snapped. Knew their scale was warped. Blamed myself, too soft, naive. You proved, no. Humility is power. Authenticity is riches. Water sip. Lila, I didn't aim to rewrite you. Just shield me. Test waters. I know, voice steady now. But your raw truth saved me. From their shadow, it saved me from becoming Claudia. From repeating that cycle. From teaching my kids to price tag people. And your parents, I asked. Leela sighed deep. Furious, wounded, shattered. Claudia's ghosted me 3 days. Victor texted, you chose strangers over blood. You'll regret it. She paused. Strange? I don't feel guilty. I feel free. That's the sign, I said. You chose right. Leela nodded. Nathan and I drew lines. They're welcome if they respect us. Our choices. No money strings. No guilt trips. Break it. Distance. How'd they take it? Poorly. Claudia screamed ungrateful. Sacrificed everything. Victor waved the will. Cut off aid. Like our loves sad, I said. They think worth equals wallet. Very, Leela agreed. So much stuff. Zero joy. They hoard, flex, compete. Never pause. Am I happy? Peaceful. Connected. She met my eyes. Ilara, teach me. Dignity without dazzle. Strength without spite. That quiet power you wield, no screens needed. I smiled soft. Can't teach it, Lila. Live it. Fall. Rise. I'll share scars, but the road, yours. I'll walk it. She vowed. For Nathan. For me. No more pressure. No proving. I deserve peace. Start small, I said. Question every buy, every flex. For me, or show. Peace, or pose. She nodded, etching it in. My parents' change possible. Honest. Don't know. Denial's their armor. World's wrong. People ungrateful. They're victims. Till they crack. No. But you can. Break the chain. I will, she promised. With Nathan? You're light. You've got your compass, I said. That inner voice you muted. Amplify it. Trust it. Leela dried final tears. Thank you for patience, truth, faith. Nothing to thank. Promise this. Your kids learn people's worth, not price. Empathy, humility, kindness. Priceless. I promise, she said, steel in her voice. With everything, we hugged Driel Ra. No performance. Just souls sinking. She left lighter. Eyes hopeful. I shut the door. Sank into my sofa. Surveyed my haven. Smiled. This was plenty. Authentic life. True bonds. Phone pinged. Nathan. Asterisk Simone shared. Thank you for the grace. I love you beyond words. Asterisk love you too, son. Always. Asterisk. Sunset bled orange, pink through the window. I watched. Real wealth. Not stacks. It's savoring what's yours. Peace in chaos. Genuine souls nearby. Mirror pride daily. Claudia, Victor hoarded millions. I hoarded this. Tranquility. Truth. Unconditional love. Infinitely richer. I never played poor again. No need. Lesson learned. Truth told. Self-read. They stayed them. Cash rich, soul poor. Not my burden anymore. I spoke. Protected my peace. Mom. Exec. Warrior. Rich where it counts. Enough. Everything. Did you love this story? Which city are you watching from? Drop it in comments, let's connect. Hit like. Super thanks to fuel more grandma tales. Subscribe more. Real life gems waiting. See you next. With love and respect.